Hi, good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you're watching around the world. It's me again, your guy, your host. This is DLG Reppin on my football channel, live and direct on YouTube. And it's been a very good day again. So, ladies to the gentlemen, to the boys, to the girls, how's your day been? Hope you can leave that in your comment section below. Any one of you been watching any football, yeah? Come talk to me about it. Whether it's the Premier League, FA Cup or Championship. Drop it in the comment section below and tell me how your team did. And I'll respond with the best answers possible. Excuse me. So, I was watching Norwich City v Manchester United, which finished Norwich 1, Manchester United 2 at full time. And the first half was dreadful to watch. Both teams were playing with a cautious approach. Both didn't want to lose. Both didn't really want to go for it. So it was a dull game for me, dull and flat. Second half livened up a bit, and United went ahead through Agallo's, let's say, volley off the shin, off the right shin. However, Norwich kept piling on the pressure, and then they got their reward, where Cantwell scored a magnificent goal. Good strike. Romero could have got to that quick enough? Possibly, but it was a good strike. And it went to extra time. And just before it went to extra time, 2 minutes before the full-time whistle, sadly, Norwich went a man down through their centre-half, the German centre-half, Closer getting sent off. So it made life really difficult for Norwich. They battled on and on throughout extra time. Got to, 3-4 minutes left of extra time in the second half. And Norwich conceded a goal that took Man United to another semi-final in the club's history. And in the first period of extra time, I should have said that before Maguire's winning goal. The first half of extra time, Norwich defended superbly well. And I think Tim Krul had to pull off a big save from Maguire earlier on. That was in the second period. But yeah, first period, Norwich did defend well and restricted Man United to long-range shooting and overplaying. And that is due to the fact Norwich defended everything Man United threw at them. Second half of the extra time, yeah, Man United got the winning goal. So they'll be in the draw for the FA Cup semi-final. Right, yes. It's time for some news headlines and some football context. And to my understanding, Northern Ireland have appointed Ian Barraclough as their new coach. And I'm going to read from the BBC Interactive text right in front of me. So it says Ian Barraclough has been confirmed as a new Northern Ireland manager. Following talks over the past 24 hours, involving his agent and the Irish FA. The 49-year-old's appointment was rectified at the IFA board meeting on Saturday after terms had been agreed. He signed an 18-month contract which will run until the end of the 2022 World Cup qualifying campaign. Barraclough will succeed Mark O'Neill, who appointed the Englishman as his under-21 manager in 2017. So, well, he was appointed the under-21 manager in 2017, and now, 3 years later, after all that hard work, he is now the national team manager of Northern Ireland football team. Northern Ireland football. Or should I say he's a national football team manager of Northern Ireland, and it's a major challenge to get Northern Ireland into the 2022 World Cup, and it can be done. You know, I've seen smaller teams than Northern Ireland get there. Look at Panama; they've made it. You know, anything's possible. So in football, nothing's impossible. And Northern Ireland will be working so hard to get back into the World Cup for the first time since 1982. Was it 1982, Northern Ireland fans, that you were last in the World Cup in Spain, where you beat the host 1-0, Jerry Armstrong, with a fantastic strike that day? Drop your comments below and tell me how you feel about Northern Ireland and your new manager, Mr. Ian Barraclough. So, moving on in other news, Steve Bruce has called on these Newcastle players to repeat their performances against Manchester City earlier in the season, where they drew 2-2, and it was a battling performance by Newcastle that day. I thought they did everything they can to match Man City, and they did defend pretty well. And even the fact that they went behind twice, they came back with a spirited battling performance, and they deserved the result that day. And Steve Bruce is calling for them to have a go at Man City tomorrow and battle as hard as they can. Again, it's going to be very difficult when Steve Bruce has said, when new Man City have just lost the English Premier League title to new champions Liverpool, and massive congratulations to Liverpool on their triumph. But for me, it's going to be a tough arc for Newcastle. But again, it's the FA Cup, and I don't believe it's lost its romance. Far from it. It is what it is. It's a great tournament, and I'm expecting the fixture to be played in a spirited old fashion. And if Newcastle can pull off a shock, then it relates to what I've just said. Newcastle United fans, do you feel that you can pull off a shock against Manchester City? And why not? You know, it's going to be an all-round Premier League tie. Man City will have more of the ball, that I can assure you. Although you may concede the ball in possession, it's what they will do with it and how you defend on the day, and how you can find a way of breaking them down on the counter-attack. And for me, it's going to be big decisions coming from Steve Bruce on who he selects to start in his team that will face Manchester City, and the bench as well, and who he brings on and off. So it's a big game for Newcastle United this season. And you know, Man City are the overwhelming favourites, rightfully so. And they will still want to go out on a high come May. Well, I say May. Come August, when the cup final is played at Wembley on August the 1st, that is. So it's a case of wanting to finish the season on the high. They know they've not been at their best in the Premier League, and they've lost that to the eventual deserved winners, Liverpool. But they will be feeling very angry, and I'm sure they'll go out there and do the best professional job they can. And that's possibly aiming to blow away Newcastle. But it depends on what Newcastle It really depends on what Newcastle turns up. So for me, it's a case of having to put in a battling performance from Newcastle's point of view. If not, then Man City will run away and pick them off at their peril and at their free will. So, Man City fans, would you be happy about that? Would you be happy to go for the FA Cup? It is another trophy to your collection that you have this season with the Capital One Cup, or the League Cup, should I say. Drop your comments below. And all football fans, you can drop your comments below and get back to me on what I've been talking about. Do smash the thumbs up like button for me, and more than smash the subscribe button hard and passionately for me, yeah, left, right and centre. I've got 40 subscribers, another 960 subscribers left, and I will be doing live streams, and hopefully within the next 48 hours or so I'll have this channel edited, but stay tuned, that's the main thing. So moving on from the FA Cup quarter-final tie between Newcastle and Man City, Brazil international defensive midfielder Arthur will fly out to Turin to complete his medical ahead of a 72.5 million deal to Juventus, and that will see Marouane Pjanic leave Juventus to go to Barcelona. So that's big money movement going on in Europe between Barca and Juventus, and come the end of it, who's going to have the better of the deal? Only time will tell. But for me, Arthur is obviously seen as a key member of Barcelona's starting 11, and he has decided he wants to go to Juventus, and well, it could prove to be a good gem for Juventus. You know, if they're in the Champions League quarterfinals, then even much more so. You know, it could benefit them in terms of their quest to winning the Champions League, and that's what they're aiming for. And they've got someone who can play the defensive midfielder. I've not seen much of him, if I'm being honest, but for 72.5 million, there must be a reason why Juventus are paying that much for him, to make sure he gets his medical and his agreed personal terms. I would like to believe that he's agreed personal terms. Now he can complete the medical and he'll be a Barcelona player. I mean, a Juventus player, Arthur. And Pjanic will be a Barcelona player. So that completes my video. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for tuning in once again, you wonderful people around the world. And I look forward to doing another video for tomorrow morning on whatever the issue there is in the game. So be aware, anytime in the afternoon I will be doing a live starting 11 for the Arsenal game, which starts at 12. Well, the team news comes in at 12, so I'll be calling out the names of the Arsenal players that will start the game against Sheffield United away, and then the substitutions, and giving you my view on Mikel Arteta's team selection as well as the substitutes bench. So stay tuned, yeah. And remember, like, comment, and last but not least, subscribe. Do subscribe. Thank you very much, yeah? Smash that subscribe button hard and passionately for me. Smash that subscribe button for me, yeah? And help me make this channel grow. I believe this channel is going as far as it can go, because I need them subscribers, yeah? That's more than anything. And I hope to edit the channel and make it look more attractive on the eye. So people, have a wonderful evening, and good night. From your host, your guy, DLG Reppin.